Welcome back, my board compadres. Next album I'll be reviewing is Aeroplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel. Released in 1998, this album has a crazy big cult status. Neutral Milk Hotel is an experimental indie folk rock band from Louisiana, whose second album, Aeroplane, happened to be one of the most celebrated releases of underground culture at the time. The album's sound is very bold, with inspirations from noise rock, psychedelic rock, and folk music, plus a heavy 90s lo-fi influence. This album has a colorful array of instrumentations that perfectly contrast the heaviness and tenderness, yet they complement each other so well. The album has incredibly surreal lyricism and vivid imagery that rivals Alice in Wonderland, but at the same time deals with serious concepts like death, God, love, genocide, and war, saving someone's life, intimacy, and family, as well as the theory that the album is actually about the diary of Anne Frank, since Jeff Mangum, the lead singer of Neutral Milk Hotel, was previously very interested in the book at the time. The only critique the album really gets is that Jeff has a very nasally voice with no stomach to it, which some find really annoying. And on top of that, he strains his voice a lot, partially out of trying to reach high points in his vocal register, and partly almost painfully forcing himself to sing extremely hard and loud and really belting out the lyrics, which I really appreciate but some find very annoying. Another critique it gets is that it's simple, because of the usage of very basic and average chords. But it's the take on these chords, mixed with the melodies created with his unique singing, that make the song stand out, aside from their awesome instrumentations. The King of Carrot Flowers Part 1 is the perfect opening to the album, like an opening of the book, whereas Two-Headed Boy Part 2 is the perfect closer. The album feels like it's more of a journey than an album, since there's so much tension and release, so much high and low. With such powerful communications of excitement, depression, soothing, and inspiration, here is my song by song for Aeroplane Over the Sea. 1. King of Carrot Flowers Part 1. This is a very upbeat instrumental with strains of whimsical and dark lyrics. Some violent parts like Stick a Fork in Daddy's Shoulder, or Drink Until She Was No Longer Speaking, or Dad Would Dream of All the Different Ways to Die. It has unique instrumentation with accordion, I believe, and it has a strange contradiction since the melody is kind of happy and upbeat, but the lyrics have a darkness to them. 2. King of Carrot Flowers Part 2 and 3. Interesting, almost funny intro with a calm guitar melody playing accompanied with an I love you, Jesus Christ. Mexican-esque horns accompanied with strange synths and lo-fi drums and bass as it transitions into Part 3. Once again, it has very strange lyrics about someone floating until he learns how to swim inside his mother a garbage can, or spitting until he learns how to speak, or shouting until they know what he means. Then he says he means the marriage of a dead dog sing and a synthetic flying machine. It ends with a synth and a single tap on the piano. It's very rad. 3. Aeroplane Over the Sea. Aeroplane Over the Sea has simple chords but accompanies stomachless voice well in this song. Nice sing-saw instrumentation in the background. His vocals sound almost painful, like he's really belting out his vocalization. The horns come in at the chorus-esque part and at the bridge part. The sing-saw after the bridge becomes very strange and random. It has very whimsical lyrics and unique vocal melody accompanying the simple chord progression of the song. The lyrics describe a beautiful face in a dream and then continue to explain that one day we will die and our ashes will fly from the aeroplane over the sea. But at that moment we are all young, so let's play in the sun and count every beautiful thing that we see. At one point he says there's lights in the clouds and Anna's ghosts all around, hear her voice as it's rolling and ringing through me, possibly implying the whole Anne Frank theory. At his last lyric, before the song plays off, is, I can't believe how strange it is to be anything at all. 4. The Two-Headed Boy has a very depressing and chill instrumentation. Again, as with all of his album songs, the lyrics are very whimsical as it talks about a two-headed boy floating in glass. Very descriptive and visual lyrics. The instrumentation is just guitar. Again, simple yet effective. The song slows down at the end as Jeff Mangum lyrics are reduced to D, 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 D as the song plays out, which is very cool. Another Anne Frank implication is made for his lover who's floating and choking with her hands across her face. 5. The Fool. There's not much to say about this instrumentation. It's very funeral march-esque with very heavy drums and horns. There's no lyrics, it's strangely heavy instrumental, and the synth and accordion come in at a point as well. It's still pretty cool, but I think it's my least favorite off the album since it's such a klezmer-esque, heavy, horn-based instrumentation. 6. Holland 1945. This has nice lo-fi drums and kind of badly mixed-esque instrumentation in the background, which is cool and accompanies the song well. Starts with a genuine a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's an upbeat and happier sound to it with a nice accompaniment of horns. It's another contradiction with the dark lyrics and upbeat music. The only girl I've ever loved was born with roses in her eyes, and then they buried her alive in one evening in 1945 with her sister by her side, which could also be another Anne Frank reference. And only weeks before the guns came and rained on everyone, which could be a Holocaust reference. One of my favorite lyrics from the song is, "Now she's a little boy in Spain playing pianos filled with flames." It talks about a lot about death in the song, and the lyrics are darker towards the end down to the last lyric. 7. Communist Daughter. Starts with a very astral and spacey synth. Very calm instrumentation in the background, synth accompanied with a guitar and horn. One of the shorter songs off the album. It's weird, almost edgy lyrics talking about a communist daughter standing in water heavy with seaweed, and then builds this weird environment with semen-stained mountaintops, cocoa leaves on the borders, cars flying uncontrollably from the clouds, and bridges bursting and twisting. The surreal synth plays the song out at the end, getting choppier and choppier until it cuts out into the next song. 8. Oh Calmly. This is probably my favorite song off the album, along with Two-Headed Boy Part 2, and it's a simple acoustic instrumental that works very well with Jeff's sad melodies. It goes on for a long time, but the lyrics keep your attention throughout. He does his stomachless, painful yelling throughout this. He really gets into the Anne Frank Holocaust theory with lyrics like, "And I know they buried her body with others, her sister and mother, and 500 families. And will she remember me 50 years later? I wish I could save her in some sort of time machine." 3/4 of the way through the song, it becomes depressing instrumentation and melody with an accompaniment of horns. There are many changes in the song. After the horn part, there's a slow acoustic transition, and then it goes back to the horn accompaniment. There's a lot of dee-dee-dee-dees and da-da-da-das that fill the empty spaces in certain parts and ends the song itself. More of the lyrics are very creepy and surreal, first talking about someone named Calmly who seems to be having intimacies with a girl, then it transitions to talking about killing his enemies and his father, and these are the lyrics: "His father made fetuses with flesh-licking ladies, while you and your mother were asleep in the trailer park. Thunderous sparks from the dark of the stadiums, the music and medicine you needed for comforting. So make all your flat, fleshy fingers to moving, and pluck all your silly strings, bend all your notes for me." It continues describing the strange, surreal situation and then saying, "Know your enemy," repetitively. Finally, the song ends saying, "Gold line, my dear, we will fold and freeze together far away from here. There is a sun and spring and green forever, but now we will move to feel ourselves inside some stranger's stomach. Place your body here. Let your skin begin to blend itself with mine." My question was, who is Goldline? 9. Ghost. Begins acoustically, but then the heavy lo-fi bass comes in and follows it by an intense mixed-backed drum pattern. There's more dee-dee-dees followed by horn, and it's generally a pretty upbeat song with a powerful undertone. It's possibly the most fast-paced song on the album, and in the end of the song, a theremin accompanied with horns and possibly bagpipes, and a background synth ending it in a beautiful cacophony. The lyrics speak of a ghost, who I'm assuming is Anne Frank, within him, that was born in a bottle rocket in 1929. It describes her more and says that she will never die. It has strange, powerful lyrics like, "And she goes and now she knows she will never be afraid to watch the morning paper blow in the hole where no one can escape. And one day in New York City, a baby girl fell from the sky from the top of a burning apartment, building 14 stories high. And when her spirit left her body, how it split the sun. I know she'll live forever." And all it goes on and on. All goes on and on and on. My bad. It's a very powerful and cool song, which transitions well into song number 10, which is Untitled Song. Another cool lo-fi instrumental with bagpipes, much happier and more powerful than the first instrumentation, or equally powerful for much different reasons. Some indefinable instruments like strange horn-like synth or a pipe organ accordion sound. There's singing in the background, in the way background, but it isn't very definable. A good follow-up to the song Ghost, since it has a similar instrumentation and feel. And it ends with what feels like a blast of lo-fi and then some creepy sing-saw synth that transitions into the next song. Try to say sing-saw synth 5 times fast, everybody, because it's really, really hard. 11. Two-Headed Boy Part 2. Begins with an eerie sing-saw-esque synth sound. It's my favorite. This song is my favorite, along with "Oh Calmly" off the album. It has a sad, calm, and slow instrumentation, has simple chord progressions that go well with Jeff's lyrics. At parts, he belts out painful yelling voice, but at other times he's calm and quiet, and it's a good variety. He keeps sounding like it's going to go back to the part in Two-Headed Boy Part 1, where he says, "Two-Headed Boy," but then it goes into a separate lyrics and creates kind of this strange tension buildup, which has a nice release when he says it, finally, which slows down the song itself. There's more DDDs throughout the song, too, and it strips the song down to basic guitar strumming at the part where he does say "Two-Headed Boy." I'm assuming the lyrics are from the point of the Two-Headed Boy, since it says lyrics like, "Daddy, please hear the song I sing. In your heart there's a spark that just screams for a lover, to bring a child to your chest that could lay as you sleep, and all the love you felt like your boy used to be, long ago wrapped in sheets warm and wet." He talks to different people, either in his family or people he knows, and then talks about God being a place where you go, which is very interesting. And it's a perfect ending to the album, with the final lyric being, "Two-headed boy, she is all you could need. She will feed you tomatoes and radio wires and retire to sheets safe and clean. Don't hate her when she gets up to leave." And the sound of someone getting up and leaving, which is a very interesting way to end the album. It's very nice. And it actually leaves a lot of emotion behind. When I first heard the album, I was very emotional after I heard that part. I sobbed! Now here we are at the end of the two albums. Have you been here this long? Probably not, since I'm not going to be showing all this in my gateway. At the end of the album, I would give this a whopping 5 out of 5 on the inspirational scale, for me personally. This is a masterpiece. It's so whimsical yet so heavy. The chords are simple, which inspires one to write music similarly, yet the instrumentations are so unique and intricate, and the lyrics are abstract and beautiful and very inspiring. I definitely recommend this and both albums. Both are radical and dope, and if you like music, you should check them out. Thank you for viewing the video, and time to continue this gateway. Outro jingle, outro jingle, outro. Now it's time to end the video. Hope you had fun, but now it's time to go back to the slideshow. Continue my gateway. I hope you had fun watching me.